let's build a spawner. For starters, I've added a little bit more complexity to my level in between videos. You can do the same for yours, where I should probably move this one down a little bit. I've just made the pass a little bit tighter. Some diverse things and this little kind of narrow, don't fall off the edge thing at the end. Cool. We'll make an end state later. But right now, everything is pretty static and not doing too much. That's very interesting. Let me just drop this down a little bit here to look a little better before it bothers me too much, too far. I'll tweak these things all another time. What I want to have in my game is some kind of an object that travels in these kind of empty corridors, at least one of them. And what I'm going to do for that is have an actual little bullet object. So what I'm going to do is create a little sphere, and I'm going to make this sphere quite a bit smaller. So that's kind of like a bullet size thing. Cool. And maybe I'll take a new material and give it a beautiful dark, maybe a black color here. Let's drop this material on. I should be naming my materials and being a little bit lazy in the tutorials, but I'm not going to fix that right now. And I want this bullet to move across the screen when my game starts. But there's a problem, is that a bullet should, well, first come out of something I don't have made right now, but should it like travel back and forth? Maybe you want to do something where it's just like a little orb, but I want to have actually bullets kind of traveling slowly, little projectiles in my scene. So just having one travel, I could have it travel and then teleport back and travel again, but what if I want multiple of these bullets? I'm just going to rename this right now to bullet. I need to be able to create objects kind of on the fly through code. So what I'm actually going to do is create a prefab of my bullet and delete it from my world entirely. So this bullet is gone. And in my world, I'm going to create an empty game object, and I'm going to rename this to spawner. This spawner is going to go where I want the bullets to be spawned. So I'm just going to kind of zoom around here, line this up. We can always tweak this later. And I'm going to position it right about here. And what I want this spawner to be able to do, as I said, is actually create its own bullets, ideally at some kind of a delay. But for now, we're simply just going to kind of get it up and running in the first place. So what I'm going to do for the spawner, I'm actually going to create a script. I'm going to call this bullet spawner. So let's create an add. And once this is built, pop it open in our script. Awesome. In this bullet spawner, I need to link a game object like we've done before. So I'm going to make a game object called bullet and go back into Unity. And on the spawner, I'm going to attach not a bullet from my active game world, the prefab of a bullet, so that I have access to the template of what a bullet is that I can just add into my world whenever I want to through the script. So what I'm going to do with bullet now is actually when I start, I'm going to do something called instantiate. Instantiate is a term, if you studied coding before, that means to create an actual object from a class. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to create this bullet object. But I need a little bit more information. I actually need the spawn position and rotation, just to be really detailed. So I'm actually going to take my transform of my position as well as the transform of my rotation. What position and rotation am I getting? Well, it's the spawner itself, because that's what the script is attached to. So I'm actually instantiating the bullet on top of the spawner with the same rotation as the spawner. So when I start and kind of press play here, I should see a bullet appearing at that point. And there it is, right off on the side there. Awesome. So that bullet just kind of got put there by code. Now the bullet is not yet moving. How come? Well, the bullet doesn't have any behaviors. So what I can do now is actually add a script to the bullet. Let's call this the bullet mover or something like that. Create a script for this. And this is going to be responsible for telling what the bullet what to do when it exists. So, Mr. Bullet, what do I want you to do? Well, anytime there's movement, we probably want to have some kind of tweakable speed. So let's just get that speed here. And I'm actually only going to have update run in here because I just want it to actually transform its position. I want its position to change. So what I'm actually going to say here is plus equals. I want its position to stay the same, but increment by some new amount, some small amount. So I'm adding on some amount to it, a new vector 3 that I can actually just add directly to it. This is called vector math. We can just add vectors together and have the new vector just be the sum of the different dimensions. It works really easily, actually. So I'm going to have a new vector 3, not a vector 2, Unity. And which direction do I want this thing to move? Well, in my scene view here, I see that this is the why am I forgetting this term right now? The X plane that I want this bullet to be traveling along. So I actually want to have, and it's the positive, I see this filled in color, it means it's positive, so I'm going to have it actually move along the X. And I'm going to have it multiplied by time, delta time, and by whatever speed I set. And did I misspell something here? Oh, I need to, no, I don't need to do that. No comma, it's only one parameter. I'm just multiplying them all together to get that final value. So the adjustments are going to be adjusted by delta time, as well as our speed to tell exactly how much the position's being changed. That should work now. And so what I should see when I press run is that this bullet, which right now has no speed, is actually going to move with some speed. Well, actually I need to affect this bullet that's directly here, not just the prefab. So here we go. The bullet's moving forward and back along that space. Wonderful. So let's just think of what a nice speed might be. That looks all right. Maybe 3.5 for now. So I'll jump out of here, and the actual bullet prefab, now I'll set that to 3.5. Now when I run it, it gets instantiated. It should automatically travel at that speed. Perfect. Now, one final issue is that, well, let's go look at it in the game view. That first, it's not that interesting. Also, if I run into the bullet, I missed it, but nothing's going to happen because the bullet is actually not a very interesting object yet. It has a sphere collider, but it should just knock me off. Let me actually try not to have it miss me this time. See if I can be more skilled. Oh, see, it just bumps me. And maybe it bumping me is enough functionality. Maybe you're happy with that. I'm not. I want to add a little bit more code to this, and I'm going to do so in my player controller because I know how to deal with collisions. What I'm going to do is go bullet. I'm going to tag you as an obstacle. You could also give it a custom tag for custom behavior, but this now means that, well, actually I called it wall. I changed my mind. So I have to add a new custom piece of code here. If collision collider tag equals obstacle, you know what? Why don't we just do the whole 9 yards here and customize this completely? Let's do it. Bullet, you're getting a new tag. I'm adding a new custom tag for, oh, I already have a bullet. What am I thinking? I built it previously and it remembered it. Perfect. Here it is, bullet. Now back in my player code here. If the tag is bullet, for now, why don't we just do that similar thing? Or actually, let's go back to this. Let's just do a reload of the scene. Let's say that bullets are a one-shot kill. It's okay. We'll just have the scene be reloaded. So I've just added that collision awareness to my player, and it now knows that if I get bumped by that bullet, bam, I restart. I'm not allowed to be bumped by bullets. So final note for now, this bullet is going to fly off forever, and it's only one of them, which is not very interesting. In the next video, we're going to learn how to spawn multiple bullets on a timer, as well as have them be automatically destroyed when they travel for too long.